Hey, people. Everything I say goes against mainstream dogmatization. I simply read the ancient writings to try to get a better definition to our history. So you could take this as words from a babbling fool. So I'm going to add this disclaimer on the front, and maybe YouTube will cut me some slack. I was looking at this original 1613 King James Bible, and I seen it's got this magic spell on the front that made this totally legal. You can see what's going on here. There's a lion with ram's horns. This is Dan and the goat. You know, the goat is Ma. That's the church. And Dan is Britain. And they have come together in an alliance to get a nut. And then this creature on the end that looks like maybe a chicken or a bird man. And you see the first words on it is Toth. T-O-T-H. Toth, the Most High. And mighty. And there's more to that word, mighty. And you see it when it comes almighty. But a midge is small. And a tie. And it's the little tie. Prince, I am this. Prince, I am this by the G race. You know, G race is here. This is the first letter of the Bible. The G race of God. And the king of great. Great is gree at. You know, we have a discussion of where we're going to eat, and we both come to an agreement. You know, when we agree at, hey, that's great. We're no longer hungry. And that's where that word great comes from. It doesn't mean great like we think. It just means that we come up with something we can both retain. We can both agree with. And of agree at, retain. And to retain the writings. So this midge tie prince, you know, that means to little. The midge, the little tie of prince. To leave little tracks. And then I am this by. You know, leave little tracks of your heritage. I am this by, where I came from. The G race of God King. Midge tie prince. Little tie prince. I am this by. The G race of God King. Of agree at and retain. To agree in an agreement in that retain. France and Ireland deafen. You know, to deafen, to remove the ears. You know, and the D is der, there, T-H-E-R. You know, in German you'd read that, der, you know, there. And deafen there of the fate. This is F-A-I-T-E. You know, the fate, either way. The do, to be done, the fate, and etc. The and etc. comes up down here. The trans, you know, between two lators, coming from the Latin wide, latos, broad or wide, to stretch out, expand, spread. And lators, somebody who proposes the law, to spread the law. The translators of devival. You know, T-H-E is spelled D-E. Devival. You know, revive, to bring back to life. And devive, you know, lifeless. Devival, to kill, to render it lifeless. Wish, G-race. Merci, thank you. And appease, you know, and is vav, to appease. From here, see, appease. Through, you know, die, D-I-A, die. Yeses, you know, through the yeses, diocese. And then the CH is the X, and it's the czarist. XR, czar, the czarist. Is, you know, one who follows. The czarist of ruler, R-L-O-R. Czarist of ruler, through, D, through. And so to the most, is to them host. To them host high and midge-tie. To them host the big and the small. The midge-tie printers, the writers. I am this by the G-race of God King. Of agree at and retain. We agree that I will retain. For aunts, for aunts, forming nouns denoting a quality or a state. Forming nouns denoting an action. For aunts, and the and is the vav, W-Y, how relend, deafen thereof, the fate, and etc. The translators, between two places, between two distant places of law, the law of divival, to remove the life. Wish, G-race. From here, see appease, diocese, czarist, diocese, czarist of ruler, through. And you can see down here in the contract where they didn't space the words. To agree at, here agree at, and vav, to men if old were the bull, had the ability, were the bull. Bull as in confusion is what they say. Where the bull is sings, the Essenes, where it had the ability of the Essenes. The Essenes, a mystic Jewish sect. In Lessings, agree at to man if old. Were the bull Lessings. Most had read so where again. Which the all of midge tie, the all of the little tie, where everything comes from, the tiny part. Jihad, holy war, the father of all thanks, merci. In is towed, bestowed, filled upon us the people. The TH is E is the DE, used, USDE, used people. Of in gland. The EN is in the Greek, or ben, and glands coming from brilliance, shiny, all in gland. Also gland as in penis, all in dicks, prick, wanker. When first he sent your majesties. This is the word I want to look at. This majesties royale. You see it's M-A, from, that which is from, and Y-E-S, from yes ties. Same as the I-H-S. The same as the word Jesus, I-E-S, J-E-S, ties of the royale, the king all, from yes ties, king all. And you can see it's spelled different over here. It's just the M-A-J-E-I-T-I-T-I-E. From yay tie. That means a yes vote. From a yay at tie. You see how they change font all throughout here. From all capitals, small letter, and then some large lowercase, and words squeezed together. And the changing between the U and the V, and the changing of spellings throughout. It tells me there's code in here, and that's what it says in the code. It says, this is to dumb the people down, to take the language. And the spacing changes. And the spacing changes was one of the oldest marks in the oldest writings, just slight changes. You can see it in this old metal seal. The IHS, same as the Pope totes. And you can see how the S is on top, and the H is underneath it, and the I is underneath, and the S is clamping them together. It's like a belt buckle regulator to regulate the yeses. And you can see in this oldest Trinity that you'll find that the the yeses, the yes, Y-E-S-E, comes out of the mouth of the serpent. The serpent is given the yeses. The same as in the garden, the serpent was in the tree and he told you what you could do. No, it won't surely kill you. Go ahead and try it. And he gave the yes. So in that last movie, I was showing you how they, another form of this word, Stoicism, that they didn't want to translate. It was up here in 8, this Stokes High. They just call it the principles. I didn't want you to see that this was Stoics. And it was talking about the Stoic philosophies that come parading in. And not therefore anyone you should let judge in regard to food. Is crying to in your brewskis, crying in their beer. And in posies. Posies are little one-liners, pick-up lines. He and the merry whore this, to regard to a feast, the merry whore. And he knew many a merry whore. His Abaton, HS, his is Abaton. Abaton is the head of the monastery, the abbot, and his Abaton, his head of the monastery. And they apathinate. And it's making fun of the word appassionate. But apathinate is just the opposite of appassionate. Apathy. Every word containing apeth means, I can care less. I can care less about your army. Hyapathinate. Sun Zaris. Zaris, Xars, is the ruler, the Tsarist, the king, the Tsaristo, Apo, Awaiton, the Stoics, high on. To a cause from of cosm of tie. What's tied to the causes, the cosmos. As zoo in it, as the little living creatures, the zoo and in it. That was that couple movies ago, that movie about who was nuts. And it means the containing. That was the first God of the word. When it gave birth to all the other, it means that its contents. The animal contents in the cosmo dogmatizeth thee, to dogmatizeth thee, to brainwash it into you. And as I look through here, there's just too much stuff I want to go over. The medicine has, and gotta brave it too. The medicinal, the medis whom as, according to brave it too. And to hike physiognomus, hypotenuse, this sarcos too. And this is sarcos is an eclipse cycle. And the number of the word between the Greek and the Hebrew is kind of strange how it fits. And so I'm going to make another movie and I'm going to go over this. This is all in this one little chapter. And so they'll cut lines off where they shouldn't. And so it'll all be read through and then come back and read with the reading directions, until the period. You don't turn around here. And so this line starting at 18, it's going to read all the way through until to the end of this paragraph. And then you come back and read it again with the reading directions. And it's got a lot of stuff in there. It's easy to understand. So I'm going to go over this whole paragraph in the next movie.
Don't forget, hooty hoot, hooty hoot. I won't forget.
Alright, I'm going to cut this off here. Good day.